Hey everyone, welcome back. Are you ready to dive into the world of tea?
Always ready for a good brew.
Well, today we're not just looking at any tea. We're focusing in on how millennials and Gen Z are reshaping the whole tea scene.
It's pretty wild, actually, how much they're impacting the industry.
It really is. And to guide us through all of this, we've got this fun conversation between Max, who's a millennial, and Zoe, who's Gen Z.
Oh, yeah, they're on their way to the World Tea Expo, right?
That's right. Their chat is just full of these great insights. And to top it off, we're going to be weaving in industry reports from Circana, Finlays, and PDI.
I think this is such a cool way to bring those reports to life.
I agree. I mean, who doesn't love hearing directly from passionate tea drinkers? And speaking of passionate, get this. A whopping 87% of millennials drink tea.
Whoa, that's a huge number. No wonder they're having such a big influence.
Right. It's clear that tea is more than just a drink for them. It's a whole lifestyle.
Definitely. They're leading the charge when it comes to demanding higher quality, healthier teas and brands that actually reflect their values.
And you know what's interesting? In the conversation, Max, our millennial, he's all about those single origin loose leaf teas.
Ah, a true connoisseur.
Yeah. He even mentions a specific type of Darjeeling that he swears by for its calming effects.
Makes sense. That perfectly reflects that bigger trend we're seeing with millennials, this whole focus on functional teas.
You mean blends that are designed to help with stress or maybe boost immunity?
Exactly. They're not just drinking tea for the taste, they want those added benefits.
So it's almost like tea has become a form of self-care for them.
Oh, I think you hit the nail on the head. And think about it, there's been this explosion of brands catering specifically to this need, haven't there?
Oh, absolutely. There's a blend for everything these days, from turmeric and ginger for inflammation to chamomile and lavender for relaxation.
It's incredible variety that's out there.
It really is. But you know what's interesting? While millennials are all about their loose leaf blends, Gen Z is brewing up a totally different experience.
Yeah. Our Gen Z representative, Zoe, she's all about convenience and affordability.
Right. She loves bubble tea, which, by the way, is having a major moment right now.
Oh, for sure. Bubble tea is everywhere.
And Zoe's always searching for those new and exciting ready-to-drink options.
Well, those fit perfectly with Gen Z's on-the-go lifestyle.
It's so true. And I love how she describes bubble tea as a party in your mouth.
Right.
It's not just about the taste for her, it's the whole sensory experience.
The texture, the visuals, the whole shebang. And let's not forget, for Gen Z, tea is also a social thing.
Sharing with friends, taking those Instagram-worthy pics.
Yeah, their tea experience is super influenced by social media, especially platforms like TikTok.
Makes you wonder, are they even drinking the tea or are they just there for the content?
Uh-huh. Maybe a little bit of both.
I think you're right. But jokes aside, it's clear that Gen Z is discovering new tea trends, sharing their favorite spots, and even coming up with their own unique concoctions, all thanks to social media.
Definitely adds a whole new dimension to tea culture, doesn't it?
It really does. But you know what's cool? Even though millennials and Gen Z are approaching tea in their own ways, they do have something in common.
What's that?
They both love to try new things. Like in the conversation, Max talks about wanting to experiment with making tea cocktails.
Ooh, interesting.
And Zoe, she mentions trying this new boba shop that's all over her TikTok feed.
So they're both pushing the boundaries of what tea can be.
Exactly. And you know what? That same spirit of exploration is reflected in the industry reports as well.
How so?
Well, for one thing, cold brew tea is seriously taking off right now.
Oh yeah, I've noticed that. It seems like every tea brand is coming out with a cold brew option.
And it makes sense, right? It's smoother, less bitter, and perfect for people who are always on the go.
Plus, it's a fantastic way to cool down on a hot day.
Totally. And speaking of convenience, both Max and Zoe mentioned their love for ready-to-drink teas.
Yeah, those are super popular with both generations.
And why not? They're convenient, portable, and there are so many different flavors and varieties to choose from.
It's like having a tea party on demand.
Exactly. But you know, one thing that really stood out to me in the conversation was how much both Max and Zoe emphasized sustainability.
Oh, absolutely. They were both very vocal about wanting brands to be eco-conscious, from the way they source their tea leaves to the packaging they use.
It's like sustainability is non-negotiable for them.
And honestly, good for them. They're holding brands accountable and showing that they're willing to put their money where their values are.
It's a powerful statement, for
It
sure.
really is. It makes you wonder, what else is brewing on the horizon for tea?
That's a great question. Are there any other trends we should be keeping an eye on?
Well, one thing that both Max and Zoe touched on is this growing interest in functional teas that go beyond the basics.
So we're talking about more than just relaxation or an energy boost.
Right. Think adaptogenic herbs, probiotics, nootropics, ingredients that can support cognitive function, reduce stress, and even improve gut health.
Wow, so tea is becoming a vehicle for personalized wellness.
Exactly. It's all about catering to individual needs and preferences.
That's fascinating. It sounds like the future of tea is all about personalization and customization.
Absolutely. Just like Zoe was raving about customizing her bubble tea with different flavors and toppings, we're going to see that same level of customization applied to other types of tea.
So imagine walking into a tea bar and creating your own blend based on your mood, your health goals, or even the time of day.
Exactly. The possibilities are endless.
That's a pretty amazing vision.
It is, isn't it? And it just shows how much potential there is in the world of tea, especially with these younger generations leading the way.
Well, they say the future is in good hands, and in this case, I think it's in good teacups.
I couldn't agree more.
So it seems like both generations are kind of approaching tea in their own unique way.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's cool that they both have this shared passion for trying new things.
Oh, absolutely. Like you said, Max is all about experimenting with tea cocktails.
Right. And Zoe, she can't wait to try out that new boba shop everyone's talking about on TikTok.
It's like they're both pushing the boundaries of what tea can be.
No, no. And it's not just them, right? The whole industry is buzzing with innovation.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, take cold brew tea, for example.
That's been exploding in popularity lately.
It really has. It seems like every tea brand out there has a cold brew option now.
Which makes sense. It's so refreshing, and it's perfect for those hot summer days.
Totally. And let's be real, it's way more convenient than brewing a whole pot of tea.
Speaking of convenience, both Max and Zoe are big fans of ready-to-drink teas, too.
Oh, yeah, those are a lifesaver when you're on the go.
And the variety is incredible. Sparkling teas, fruit-infused blends, tea lattes, you name it.
It's like having a tea party at your fingertips.
Exactly. But, there's another factor that's really important to both Max and Zoe.
Sustainability.
You got it. They're both really passionate about supporting brands that are eco-conscious.
Yeah, they want to know that their tea is ethically sourced and that the packaging is sustainable.
It's like they're not just thinking about the taste, they're thinking about the impact their choices are having on the planet.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
It shows that they're really conscious consumers.
I agree. They're setting a great example for all of us.
They are. Which makes me wonder, what else can we expect to see in the future of tea?
I know, right? What other trends are brewing on the horizon?
Well, one thing that really caught my attention was this growing interest in functional teas.
You mean like teas that have specific health benefits?
Exactly. We're not just talking about relaxation or an energy boost anymore.
So what kind of benefits are we talking about?
Well, Max and Zoe mentioned things like adaptogenic herbs, probiotics, even nootropics.
Nootropics, what are those?
They're compounds that are supposed to enhance cognitive function, things like memory and focus.
Wow, so tea is becoming a brain booster now too.
It's pretty amazing, right?
It really is. So basically, tea is becoming more personalized and tailored to specific needs.
Exactly. Just like Zoe was talking about customizing her bubble tea.
So in the future, we might walk into a tea shop and create our own custom blends based on our mood or our health goals.
I could totally see that happening.
Imagine that a tea bar where you can mix and match different ingredients to create the perfect cup for you.
It would be like a tea apothecary.
I love it. The possibilities are endless.
They really are. And it's all thanks to these younger generations who are pushing the boundaries and reimagining what tea can be.
It's exciting to think about what the future holds for this ancient beverage.
I agree. Who knows what amazing innovations we'll see in the years to come?
One thing's for sure, the world of tea is definitely not staying stagnant.
No way. It's evolving and adapting to the needs of a new generation of tea lovers.
And that's something to raise a cup to.
Cheers to that.
We've been talking so much about all these trends, and you know what it makes me wonder? What does this all mean for the everyday tea drinker?
Right. We've uncovered these trends, but how do they actually translate into real life?
Exactly. So let's try to think big picture for a minute. If everything's pointing in this direction, what do you imagine the whole tea experience will look like 5 or 10 years from now?
That's a great question. What do I think?
Like, will we actually see those tea bars we were talking about pop up everywhere? Will they become the new social hubs like coffee shops are today?
That's a cool thought. Or maybe technology will play an even bigger role than it does now.
Oof, like personalized tea recommendations right on your phone.
Right. Based on your mood or your health goals, almost like having a personal tea sommelier.
That would be so cool. And what about the teas themselves? I mean, what kind of crazy flavor combos or functional ingredients will we be seeing?
Who knows? Maybe we'll even have keys that can help us focus better, or boost our creativity, or even help us sleep better.
The possibilities are pretty much endless, aren't they?
It seems like it. You know, it's funny though, with all this talk about the future, part of me wonders if we might actually see a resurgence of some of those traditional tea ceremonies.
Oh, wow, I love that idea. But maybe adapted, for a more modern audience?
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about all the trends or the technology. It's about that ritual, that mindfulness, that sense of connection that comes with tea.
So true. Whether you're sipping on some fancy Darjeeling or enjoying bubble tea with friends, it's about being present in the moment and appreciating this amazing beverage.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Uh,
So on that note, we want to hear from you, our listeners. What are your predictions for the future of tea? What trends are you excited about? Share your thoughts with us on social media, and let's keep this conversation going.
yeah, let's keep it brewing.
Yeah.
And until next time, happy sipping, everyone.